Welcome to the Black Women's World Podcast. Welcome to Black Women's World, where Black women vibe and thrive together. And if you ain't a Black woman, you'll get to know at least one. Because this Black Women's World, my Black woman's world, is whatever I say it is, simply because I am. So welcome, SistaNistas and SistaNista lovers. We're here for you. Much love and peace. Well, hey y'all, it's Tracy Mack. Listen, I was cleaning out some digital files and I happened to come across a poem by my friend Linda Randolph. Rest in peace, Linda. Linda wrote a poem called Feel the Real. And Linda was a white baby boomer, but she performed this poem in all Black jazz clubs on open mic night with millennials and Generation X people and got a standing snap ovation every time she performed it. Oh my goodness, I miss Linda. But when I was reading the poem, she was talking about romantic relationships, how we should feel, is it real? But I began to think about, do we really want to feel what's real? Or do we only want to feel good? I've been going through some things, these feelings that I'm having as an empath, it's deep. And what I notice is it's not anxiety or depression, and I've expressed that, and having dealt professionally in the mental and spiritual wellness space for over 20 years, I know what those things are, but this was different. And I solicited encouragement. And oh my God, the encouragement I got, let me tell you, it ain't the quantity, it's the quality. Because some of the prayers that people pray with and for me, I'm telling you, was so strong and deep. I think I saw Lazarus walking around again, resurrected twice, you heard me? But listen, the encouragement was so powerful. But what was disappointing to some people who asked me, okay, after they encouraged me, so how do you feel now? And I said, oh, you encouraged me, but the feeling is still there. And oh, you could sense the disappointment. Because what I found out a long time ago is people can be very uncomfortable when their encouragement doesn't work. Or if you ask them how they're doing, and if they ask you how you're doing and you don't say you're fine, it's this heaviness sometimes that happens. But we have to learn to feel the real. Because when I ask for encouragement for this funk or this short fuse feeling, it's something different, shifting and changing in my life. I don't know if it's just personal or overall or even something prophetic. I don't know. And that's another reason why it's uncomfortable, because I don't know. And by now I feel like I should have. And God knows I appreciated the encouragement. It hit the spot. And I go back and read not only the Facebook messages, but the texts I've gotten, listening to the voicemails I've gotten to encourage me. But let me tell you, I let them encourage me while I'm in it. I don't want to be taken out of it prematurely because of the growth muscle that it builds. Sometimes we go through things and we want to take ourselves out of it. We don't want to feel it. We want to take a trip. We want to buy something. We want to self-medicate. And even like I said, working in the mental and spiritual wellness space for over 20 years, and I don't have the authority or the degrees to diagnose anybody, but what I do know after hundreds of clients in different ages and spaces and classes and even youth, a lot of times we want to take people out of having to feel something. I remember growing up, whenever I'd be doing my homework or even something for church, I would ask my dad, what does this mean in the Bible? He would say, go look it up. He had Strong's concordances, dictionaries, lexicons, and there was no internet. So it was these huge books. When I'd be doing my homework, I put in my book of purpose that's sitting right there on the shelf. When I'd be doing my homework, and I would ask my mom, how do you spell? She said, go get the dictionary. We had a Merriam-Webster's dictionary. I don't even know if it was up to date, but it was a big old dictionary. Go look it up. And what that did for me was build my research resilience. Find out for yourself resilience. Read it for yourself. Know for yourself. And I didn't like it. I was like, what's wrong with these people? They know how to spell it. They can't help me. But I found myself doing that as a parent. When my warm cake was little, and as many of you know, she was a miracle baby, wasn't supposed to be here. I was supposed to have a hysterectomy, and 2 days prior they said let's do a sonogram, and she was on the monitor, heart beating, and had a rough pregnancy, all of that, bed rest, all of that. Then they said it wouldn't be viable, all of those things. The discouragement, the not telling anybody I was pregnant because I had already had a miscarriage and didn't want to disappoint myself or anybody else with hope. But then she was born, thank God. And even in that, she was diagnosed with cognitive delays. And later in the 3rd grade, she was diagnosed with dyslexia and all the things. And I never gave up on her. And to now see her sit earning her, as she's in a doctoral program, with all of that. There were times when she was little and I'd say, go look it up. No, you can't go outside and play with your friends right now. You have to do extra homework. We have to go to tutoring. And to see her as an adult, those muscles, it hurt me to have to tell her, you do it. You do it. But to see her as an adult, to finish her first year with a 3.2, and not even supposed to be in college according to medical records and reports and educational records, not even supposed to be there. She had to feel it. Some things she had to feel that I could not feel for her. Some things she had to go through I could not rescue her from. And it's even, I think about, my mom differentiated to us back in the 80s, teaching the King's daughters the difference between a strong woman and a woman of strength. And I want my daughter to be a woman of strength. I want to be a woman of strength. I believe I am a woman of strength. But those times when you cannot take away the struggle, the pain, the discomfort, the feelings of heaviness or whatever, because 2 things can be true at the same time. You can have to have grit with grace. You can have to have resilience with rest. You can have to be strong in some areas, but then be a person of strength. 2 things can be true at the same time. You can have growth while you still make mistakes. You can have butterflies and confidence. It's so many things, but what I really want to encourage you, whether it be you yourself, because those 2 things can be true at the same time. You can be happy and things going well over here, but maybe in this particular area, there's a heaviness or an uncertainty. Because in a lot of ways in life, people try to escape the uncertainty or when things aren't quite right, and we never build the muscle. Now, I'm the type of person, I know there's some areas in my life that are deconstructing, and I'm unlearning and relearning. And so when those things are going on a personal level, I don't like to project that moodiness onto other people. So I reserve a lot of quiet time. And so even just thinking about, even when we're healing, we can be healed and whole in one area. Well, this area may have some pain and struggle. And I just want to encourage you sometimes to feel it. Sometimes we have to let our children feel it, and feel it as we go, and not wait for stuff to pile up and then we blow up and really do have mental health needs and concerns. Because even, I'm the type of person, I was raised, even when you're cooking, you clean up as you go, so you don't have a pile of junk and dishes everywhere. There was a friend of mine who used to like to make chili. Come on over, I'm gonna make chili. And I was like, no, because I knew if she made chili, I would be cleaning up, and she didn't clean up as she went. So all that to say, sometimes when someone is uncomfortable or something doesn't feel right, sometimes you got to leave them in it, and the encouragement helps comfort them while they're in it without taking it out of it, because we get to build that muscle, whatever the muscle is for the next. Daryl Coley sang the song, he's preparing me for something I can't handle right now. I may not have the muscle built right now for the next, and this uncomfortable feeling, that I'm feeling is I want it to stay there until I grow, until it teaches me the lessons I need to learn. I don't want a cheat sheet. I don't want cheat codes. I want to learn the lesson fully. Now, there's sometimes wisdom from other people can help you through the test, and that's what we can glean from, and that encouragement that just bolsters your confidence. But yet and still, you got to feel that real. Don't be so quick to take yourself out of things that don't feel good. Taking a trip because you're stressed. Deal with the stress and then take the trip. And there are a lot of things happening, and it's not business as usual with me. And it may not be business as usual with a lot of people. But when you feel something, go ahead and let patience have her perfect work. Let that thing work out so you can have the muscle, the resilience. And I'm not even with my daughter, I'm not trying to raise her to be a strong Black woman. Generations before us and even mine, we've done that. I do want her to be resilient and have grit. And I want her to have tenacity and some stick-to-itness and have some moxie. But to be strong for other people, those days are over. It's time we rest. And even if it doesn't feel good in the rest, the encouragement allows us to be comforted as we go through. I hope it makes sense. I know it makes sense to someone. And I just want to appreciate those again who did reach out and offer me encouragement, because baby, that thing is working. And I go back and I look at it, I listen to it, I read it. And like I said, them sisters and brothers that put a prayer on me, that got Lazarus around here walking again. Thank you so much. But in the meantime, if you're like me, go ahead and feel the real and build that muscle, because he's preparing. God is preparing us for things we may not be able to handle right now. But if we go ahead and feel that thing, that by the time those things happen, we are ready. We don't have to get ready. We get to stay ready. So anyway, I'm grateful and I love y'all for real. Much love and peace. You've been listening to Black Women's World Podcast, the BWWP, brought to you in part by Tracy Mack, Solutions for Life Institute, Coaching and Training Services. No doubt you have enjoyed being in our world, and it doesn't have to stop here. Head on over to blackwomensworld.com. This is my personal invitation to you to stay connected with me on social media and more. I'd love to see you there, and I'm so grateful you came to be with me here. Invite someone else to join you in our queendom next time so they can feel the vibe of our tribe of SistaNistas and SistaNista lovers too. Remember to be kind, be authentic, be generous, be excellent, be grateful, and while you're at it, go ahead and be extraordinary, because that's just what SistaNistas do, on purpose, through mission, with passion and compassion. It's a Black woman's world, baby, and you, my SistaNista, are proof. I'm your self-discovery companion, your professional peacemaker, and your host, Tracy Mack. Wherever you are in the world, may you love and be loved by somebody. Peace.